live in the 105 at the beautiful SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Los Angeles Chargers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. On 1st and 10, Herbert. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Flushed out right. This is swung out to Eckler. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And look here, it's an opening drive fake. Well, the fake punt gets only a yard, but that's enough to pick up the first. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. On 2nd down, Eckler. And some room to maneuver. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the 2nd round, that's what I call a steal.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack.
And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Herbert. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. A big play that time on the catch and run.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pick up there. It gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. Now Herbert, 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This time, Jackson will throw it. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 58 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. And now Jackson will look to throw it. He finds his man, complete. That's Weber. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 24-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Jackson. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, he's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Is Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down.
So, CD, you talk about this football team, some of the whispers and reports, the social media posts, they hint at a locker room that's splintered, badly splintered. There was talk earlier, some guys might walk away entirely, but that hasn't happened, however, at least to this point.
No, and sometimes some of that talk is just that, talk. I mean, guys often say, that's it, I'm out of here, and then they realize, I'm not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do now? And they're really ready to come back and dive back in. In fact, we got guys who are wearing gold jackets in the Hall of Fame. They talked about retirement the last 6-7 years of their careers. So that's not always real. And sometimes you just have to go ahead and ride it out. And this is an opportunity now for everyone in this locker room to move forward.
Now Eckler. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around. And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage. One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you...
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is down to 4. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player.
More from L.A. in a moment.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose.
Going deep here for Allen. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. And the holding penalty sets him back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. Throwing now, Jackson on first down.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22.
Here's Jackson to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Weaver. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
He's going to look deep down the field.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10.
And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Charger drive about to get going.
And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this will be recovered by the offense, but it will be of little importance now as time has expired here in this first half. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the 3rd quarter. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. From midfield now, here's Jackson.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked off at the 40, and he returns it into enemy territory down the 45-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is. is.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Herbert. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change, because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because there's confidence.
That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
They run on 1st down with Jackson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Hooper with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the interception by the Chargers D leads to a touchdown. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead.
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 35. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out? And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, LA! Jalen Guyton, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They go play action with Jackson. Going for the deep ball. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. On the give, this is Eckler. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. And let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, and they're going louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on it. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
And they'll set him back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second-half blowout material. Now room for Eckler.
And all the way in for a Charger touchdown.
Austin Eckler.
Touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Chargers get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson, he's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Jackson now.
And there's a quick throw caught by Andrews.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Flush to his right.
Open man is Bateman. It's complete.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again.
That is caught, Rashad Bateman.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They'd go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, They don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board.
Touchdown! J.K. Dobbins.
His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Ravens get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all...
Touchdown, Chargers! Austin Eckler with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away.
This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Jackson on 1st down. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down. And that one a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Again, Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He finds his man, complete. That's Gutierrez. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens are able to make things a bit more respectable. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here telling us stretch this thing out a little bit?
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep him here.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards.
And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. To throw again is Jackson.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now Jackson.
And it's a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using...
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop him with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they will take a knee here.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with you.